Just moved in my new house today. Moving was hard, but I got squared away. Bells started ringing and chains rattled loud. I knew I'd moved in a haunted house. Still I made up in my mind to stay. Nothing was gonna drive me away.
Hey, boys and girls, ladies and germs, creatures from other worlds. Time for another vlog, another project, and another vlog. Get a couple lights turned on here. Wanted to talk about projects that I had planned and what has happened. We've had kind of a mix-up or stir-up on our project list this year. Originally, I had planned 5 projects I was going to work on, and only 5. I figured they were going to be long projects, but it would give me some of the summer off. So I could just kick back and do some other things other than Halloween build. That plan has gotten shot to hell. Majorly shot to hell. Originally, I was going to do 3 styles of carved foam wall panels, which, if you've been watching since November or just tuned in recently, you saw the build on that with the once-a-month vlogs. The other 2 I was supposed to be doing was a bookshelf with moving books and my triple water wheel, which I was going to do last year. It just ran out of time and everything. That's gotten all blown to hell. Actually, it's got blown to hell. The last set of wall panels I'm going to be making some matching light boxes with some imitation stained glass on them. I've got that to do. Got to looking at a lot of my motorized props, everything from my ship's wheel to the leering skeleton in the toxic barrel, to my tombstones. They've been used twice so far, for 2 different Halloweens, and the mechanics need some work and need some fine-tuning, and my wife had some ideas for some changes, so I've got those to do. Major project, though, that came up is my sewer room. When I originally did the wall panels, which was last year's project, in fact, they're sitting right there. You can see them in the shadows. I did the brickwork with broken out plaster and stuff. If you go back to, June, July, probably I think June of last year, you'll see these set up. They were all red with the white spots on it. You notice they're all white. Originally when I did them, I wanted to go more fluorescent paint on things. I wanted to, because my sewer room is also my blacklight room. That's the one where I have the ponds in them. And at the time, I had been watching Tara over at Scary Lady Videos on YouTube, and she does some of the most beautiful blacklight work that I have ever seen. Just gorgeous, gorgeous work. So she was kind of an inspiration to me last year. I got to checking into the blacklight paints and stuff, and I was finding it anywhere from $125 up to $150 a gallon. And I'm thinking, okay, with these panels, they had 2 shades of red on them. It took about 3 gallons of paint to get those panels painted all the way, with all the different colors, maybe almost close to 4. At the price of that blacklight paint, I'm looking $600, $700, $800 just for specialty paint. And it's like, no, I can't justify that. I especially can't justify it to my wife, spending, that type of money just for 4 gallons of paint. Yeah, she would not have been a happy camper. So I just did it in the red and left the white on, and the white would glow. I went down on several of my other projects. The wall I did last year, they had the piping and stuff on it, and bought some of that can spray paint, from Cryon. That was fluorescent. Used some of that. We liked the effect on it, and I had the water in the room. We left it at that. Well, this year, and God bless his soul, I've got a new inspiration for blacklight work. And it's Scuba Spook 1, the mighty Scuba. He's gotten the blacklight bug, and he's been making up a ton of blacklight wall panels. They're not carved foam like I'm doing, but they're plywood and painted, with the fluorescent paints. And when he first got started in the project, he bought, some samples of various fluorescent paints, did some research and what have you. And because of him, it inspired me to say the heck with it. My sewer room, aka my blacklight room, is getting totally refurbished. All the wall panels, all the props, everything is getting fluorescent painted now. So I've got some major work to do. And before I go on, I also want to throw out a huge thank you to Scuba for all your help. You've been answering some questions and stuff for me, giving me tips, what have you, and the work on the panels you're doing is just gorgeous. I can't wait to see those things set up in your haunt with the props in them. God, that thing's gonna look kick-ass. But anyway, thank you, bro, for the help. But anyway, I went out last week, dug out all the panels. There's 32 of them in that series. Got them all base coated white, and they're ready to get started with the fluorescent paint and what have you. So that's going to be the upcoming project I'm working on now. Also should apologize, I probably look a mess. It's late Sunday night. I went back to work last Friday, so I've been on the road the last 3 days, and I just got home about 45 minutes ago, and it's about dinner time. So I'm a mess. I didn't feel like brushing and cleaning up just to film. So if you don't like a filthy Rameth, don't watch Filthy Rameth talk. So anyway, we're going to get started on that, get these panels painted up, and then once these are painted, I'll be doing a short vlog on what the panels look like set up. I'm going to set up part of the maze this year, for this year's haunt out in the backyard, to do some testing on it, and we'll get some footage of that, so that should be upcoming after this project's done. But I got this to do. Like I said, I've got the luring skeleton I've got to get painted. The fountain wall I built last year that was supposed to have the flying crank ghost in it. That's going to be getting hit with fluorescent paint, and it is also going to be changing. We're going to do a giant rotating fan blade behind the bars this year with fluorescent painting and everything else. And I'm still thinking on the triple water wheel. Excuse me, tongue tied, I'm tired. We're probably going to be, I might be, still thinking on it. I might incorporate the water wheels into that wall panel one way or the other. I'm not sure yet. I still got to think about it. Still thinking about it. So anyway, we got that going. But I got some work to do on these panels, and we're going to go ahead and get started on it. On these wall panels. First step on this, which is going to be fairly straightforward and easy, are the grout lines here in between the bricks. I'm going to spray those the color I want. I'm choosing black to help highlight the bricks, which the bricks are going to be fluorescent. The bricks cannot be sprayed. They have to be done by brush or by hand, or however you want to call it. So we're going to be using the little miniature paint sprayer, and I'll be coming in here and I'll be spray painting these black. And then coming back to, if I have any touch-ups on the white, I need to come back over with some white paint and touch those up, because the fluorescent paint will not cover up black. It's just too thin and too watery. And it would take too much paint trying to get it to cover up. Now, instead of starting on the full panels over there, I'm starting on a couple of pieces of scrap. These are some stuff, pieces I had left over, from a couple of panels, a couple other different projects that I had made up some extras. And what I want to do, like I was saying, I'm going to be doing the grout lines of black first. But what we're going to end up doing is I picked up 6 different shades of fluorescent paint, and I'll go into the shades and stuff I picked up once I get into doing the actual fluorescent paint work on these. But anyway, on these panels, the surface part of the bricks are going to be a red color, and I'm not sure what color I want to use for the damaged areas. They're going to be a two-tone colored brick. The reds, from what Scuba has told me, tend to blend together. You know, so if you use a light red with a dark red, it's really hard to differentiate between the two. So I'm either going to do a blue, a green, a yellow, or, you know, some shade that's not red in these damaged areas. And instead of taking my time to do a whole panel, finding out, well, I don't like, you know, red and blue, or I don't like red and green, or red and yellow, you know, and I having to go back through and retouch it up, figured I'd do some samples. Okay, so I figure I come back through here, I'll do all the bricks with the red on it, and then come through and do half the bricks on this panel with blue, the other half with yellow, do the same thing over here. Then I can get my black light out, you know, after they've dried, and you know, put them in underneath black light and make my choice that way. But you know, right now, before I can do that, I need to get black in the grout line. So we're going to get set up. That's kind of what I'm doing now. I'll give you a little bit of footage on that as we go along. Hey people. Okay, got another quickie little segment for you, and I do apologize. The last segment wasn't very quick. I was rambling a lot last night after being on the road all weekend. I was exhausted and my mouth was just going a mile a minute. Now, I started last night, got a few panels done. Spent a couple hours this morning using my little airbrush hanging up over there on the wall and going through doing the rest of the panels done as far as the grout lines. Went ahead and painted them black. Reason being is with fluorescent paint, the colors tend to pop a little bit more if things are outlined in black. Why? I don't know. Ask Scuba Spook 1 to explain it. He gave you the whole thing on it. Now, another thing I did too is with that little airbrush, when I did the grout lines, I got some slop here and there on the bricks. So I've been going back over. I did a couple of them today. I went back over with a paintbrush, came back through and went over the bricks just around the edges wherever I had some black on the brick and covered it up with white again to get them back to white. Reason being for that is if I was going to just paint these bricks red again, you know, I wouldn't even be bothering going back over the bricks with white. I just, you know, paint them with the red. The red would cover up that slop on the bricks, you know, because it's thick enough and dark enough color. With fluorescent paint though, if I left the black on there, I'd have to get it multiple coats in order for it to cover. Fluorescent paint, the tinting and stuff in it isn't all that thick, and so it's best when you're using that to be painting it on a white surface. If I painted over, just did one coat, like I'm hoping I'm going to be doing, maybe two, on the bricks with the black on it, the black would show through, and when you put it underneath black light, it would stick out like a sore thumb. So I'm taking the time to go back over each of the panels and remove any slop on the panels, you know, where there's a little bit of a black. I'm just giving it a little quick coat of white, you know, to, you know, cover it up. I'm not, you know, trying to be perfect with it or anything, and just doing that. It's probably going to take a couple of days to get through all 32 panels to get the white, you know, touched up, or the black touched up, you know, however which way you want to do it. So with that, had a couple of people been asking me, since I started the foam carving tutorials and stuff back in November with those 3 projects, if I was going to go back to doing weekly vlogs this year. Answer is probably not. The actual shooting of the videos and stuff really doesn't take too long. You know, it's a couple of minutes here, a couple of minutes there. Leave them on the camera. Where it gets time consuming is when I'm doing the editing. You know, and it takes an hour or two to sit down and, you know, edit a video together and, you know, delete a lot of footage, unless you guys want unedited videos and 3-hour-long vlogs. Especially with the last 3 projects with the foam carving, there really wasn't that much to vlog. It was just me doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, which would have been boring. The projects I've got going on now, though, there'll be quicker progress and what have you. So while I won't be doing weekly vlogs, really, you will see more vlogs out of me. You know, I'll probably, you know, instead of doing like I have been 1 a month, you might see 2 a month or 3 a month. Once in a blue moon, you might actually get a weekly vlog. You know, a couple of vlogs like this one. You know, it's been about a week since I've uploaded the last one, so you're actually getting kind of a weekly vlog. So I wanted to cover that. Also, my YouTube channel, I'm just about, if I haven't already, I'm going to have to double check. I've real close to hitting 500 subscribers on the channel, and I wanted to say thank you and welcome to all the new subscribers. And at the end of the vlog, you'll see a list of all the new subscribers. I'm not going to try to read the names off like I used to. God, I butchered some names. But anyway, with that, I'm going to bring this to a close, and the next footage you'll see in the next vlog will be me going over and actually getting the fluorescent paint on. I'm thinking it should be first part of next week or late this week. I'll probably, you know, get a couple panels done. So at least that's what I'm shooting for. I've got today, which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, to be working on this, and then I'm out of town for 3 days, so kind of hard to work on anything when I'm out of town and not even here. So, but next step, we'll be doing the fluorescent paint, you know, so sit tight, and we'll see you in a week or so, hopefully. So with that, stay spooky out there, people. Have fun.